I think of this moment as a moment that is about great momentum, inspired by, yes, optimism, inspired by a crisis, no doubt, but inspired by also our collective ability to see what can be unburdened by what has been.
This is my first video update coming to you from Nicosia, Cyprus on this Sunday evening. It is a rainy Sunday here in Nicosia. So let's talk about what is going on in the world today. And I started things off with the clown world. Vice President Kamala Harris talking about moments and momentum deep in philosophical thought. That is the Vice President of the United States. She is a very, very deep philosophical person. And she's also a very happy person the past couple of days, it seems, because she could probably feels like the U.S. presidency is closer than ever before, because they continue to find Biden classified docs in all kinds of strange and interesting locations that Biden just seems to have forgotten about. They found a third set of documents on Friday in Biden's home in Wilmington, Delaware. So you have the first set of documents that were found in the Biden UPenn think tank closet, but that closet was locked and secure, according to the Biden White House, so no need to worry. You had the second set of classified documents found in Biden's garage next to his very cool Corvette. But that garage, Biden wants everyone to know, that garage is locked and was locked, so no need to worry there. And now you have a third set of documents, which were found in Biden's Delaware home. But I am positive that Biden locks his house, so no need to worry there either with these classified documents. But the CBS, the report coming out of CBS News is that the first set of documents found in the closet, in the think tank closet, there were about 10 documents in total, and those documents are highly classified, like very high security docs. The second set of documents that were found in the garage are lower level classifications. They're not as sensitive, according to CBS News. And we don't have much information with these, with the third set of documents that were discovered in his home. But a fourth set of documents, perhaps, maybe a fifth set, maybe some documents underneath his sofa pillow cushion or in his bathroom medicine cabinet. Who knows? Who knows where the fourth or fifth set of docs will turn up? All Biden has to do is say that he's not running for president in 2024. That's my hunch on this. If Biden were to come out and say, look, I am not running for president, Kamala Harris, let's cross actually. Kamala Harris, Jeffries, Newsom, it's all clear for you guys to run, then I'm pretty confident that documents appearing here and there are just going to stop appearing. That's what I think is going on here. And if Biden were to sprinkle some more Ukraine escalation in my final 2 years in office, then I'm more than confident that that classified documents will stop appearing. That's all Biden has to do. If they were to remove Biden after January 21st, now that he's completed 2+ years of his term as president, and Harris were to become president, then I think that Harris would not only be able to serve the remaining 2 years of the Biden-Harris presidency, but she would also be eligible to serve 2 more terms as president. In other words, she would be able to become president for 2024 and for 2025. 28. Now, if they removed Biden before January 21st, before he completed his the 2-year mark, and Harris were to become president, then then the remaining term of the Biden-Harris presidency would count towards Harris's his first term as U.S. president. So, interesting timing. Perhaps Harris is thinking to herself, "Boy, oh boy, if they remove Biden now, that would mean that I could become president of the United States for 10 years, 2.5 terms." Maybe that's why Harris is so happy. Maybe that's why she's talking about moments and momentum and stuff like that. Oh boy. Another day in the life of Joe Bidenopoulos and the classified documents. Okay. Anything is possible. I don't think this is what's going to happen. I think that Biden will squirm his way out of this one, and he'll just be a one-term president. But, anything is possible. 10 years of a Harris presidency, 81 million votes for Bidenopoulos. Anything is possible. God help us. So let's talk about Ukraine. And since one of the very, very classified documents that was found in the closet allegedly is about Ukraine, let's talk about what's going on there. We had a big missile strike yesterday. I talked about it, a little bit about it in my video yesterday, in my Saturday morning video update. And I mentioned that the Kiev authorities were concerned that the Russian military was preparing a very big missile strike later in the day on Saturday and perhaps on Sunday. And sure enough, that is what we got. We got a very big Russian missile strike on Saturday, and the missiles were targeting thermo power plants in Ukraine. They hit just about every city in Ukraine, from Kiev to Lviv to Kharkov and Dnipropetrovsk. Every city was hit by these missiles, and the reports are that the Ukraine air defense system was once again a no-show. It performed very poorly, and the Russians they hit pretty much any target that they wanted to hit in Ukraine, damaging the power plants to the point where the Ukraine energy company had to once again issue warnings and statements along the lines of rolling blackouts and power outages across all the major cities in Ukraine. So that is what happened yesterday with the missile strikes. We have this story from the UK, from the Mirror.co.uk, that was floating around the interwebs in the morning today, Sunday morning. And it was saying, according to the Mirror.co.uk and their sources, that the UK was about to send 4 Apache helicopters to Ukraine with Hellfire missiles. And I saw this story and I was like, that doesn't sound right. The Mirror.co.uk, aren't they the ones that pretty much put out a story every day about how Putin is suffering from 20 or so diseases and ailments? I don't know about this story with with Apache helicopters and Hellfire missiles. Who's going to operate those helicopters? How is this going to work? How exactly are Apache helicopters in Ukraine going to work? And I went to click that link on that Mirror story. I think I saw it on Telegram, and I went to click the link, and it took me to the Mirror.co.uk website, but the post was down. It seems like the Mirror removed that post. And sure enough, an hour ago, the UK Ministry of Defense, they actually said that story is fiction. The UK is not going to be sending Apache helicopters to Ukraine with Hellfire missiles. That is not happening, at least not yet. But the UK is going to be sending all kinds of other weapons to Ukraine, but they're not going to be sending these Apache helicopters. So it looks like that story was false, fake news. But we did have the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal running stories yesterday about Bakhmut and the next moves in Bakhmut, the Ukraine military next moves in Bakhmut. And according to the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal, they are basically saying that the Ukraine military command, they are talking about a retreat from Bakhmut. And with this retreat from Bakhmut, they are going to use those sources from Bakhmut, those resources from Bakhmut, to prepare for a counteroffensive. This is according to the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal. The Washington Post, they interviewed a soldier in the Bakhmut area, and this is what he said, and I quote, "I will support the commander-in-chief's decision to maneuver tactically and create a new line of defense if it becomes clear that casualties are too high." That is what the Washington Post said, and their title, the title of the article that they put out reads, "Bloody Bakhmut siege poses risks for Ukraine. Kiev must balance its defense of the city, weighted with symbolism, with preparations for a counteroffensive." That is from the Washington Post. And the Wall Street Journal, they interviewed a Ukraine commander in Bakhmut, and this is what the Ukraine commander said, and I quote, "It's not me, it's King Leonidas who figured out that you should fight the enemy on the terrain that is advantageous to you," said one Ukrainian commander in Bakhmut, referring to the ruler of Sparta who battled the Persian Empire at Thermopylae. Quote, "So far, the exchange rate of trading our lives for theirs favors the Russians. If this goes on like this, we could run out." So that is what the Wall Street Journal is reporting. So it looks like, according to the Wall Street Journal and the Washington Post, it looks like the military, NATO, the military command in Ukraine, they may be, just maybe, realizing that that Bakhmut has been a catastrophe, and it's time to move out of Bakhmut. A counteroffensive? Yeah, possibly, probably. I'm sure that that Zelensky is pushing for some sort of counteroffensive. Christmas, well, what was Christmas decoration, but it's not lit up now anymore. But yeah, Zelensky, I'm positive, is pressuring the Ukraine military, and I'm sure NATO is pressuring Zelensky and pressuring Ukraine for a media counteroffensive win, PR win. But we'll have to see. Let's see, one step at a time. Is the reporting from the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal, is it accurate? Will we see in the next couple of weeks, or the next month, or the next few days, will we see the Ukraine military retreating from Bakhmut to better defensive lines? And will we see them preparing a counteroffensive? Let's wait and see. That is what the WaPo and the WSJ is reporting. And staying with Ukraine, but shifting to Hungary, the Hungarian government, they put out a questionnaire the other day, and they wanted to get a sense as to how the Hungarian people feel about the sanctions against Russia. And the results of this questionnaire were pretty shocking. Now, you could say that this questionnaire may not have been done in the most scientific of ways, and perhaps it's overstating the results, but even if it wasn't done in the most scientific of ways, and even if it is a bit of an exaggeration, the sentiment is pretty shocking as to how Hungarians feel with regards to to sanctions placed on Russia. The overwhelming majority of Hungarians are opposed to sanctions the West has imposed on Russia over Ukraine and believe that they are detrimental to the economy, the nation's government said on Saturday, citing the results of a countrywide questionnaire or consultation. In a Facebook post, the Hungarian government revealed that 97% of Hungarians reject sanctions that cause serious damage, adding that the message is clear. The Brussels sanctions policy must be reviewed. And the Hungarian spokeswoman, she said that the people taking part in the consultation say a clear no to sanctions that further increase food prices or places additional burdens on European tourism. That is what the Hungarian spokeswoman added to the statement by the Hungarian government. So 97%, even if it was like 77% or 67%, that is still a pretty big majority of Hungarians who are saying enough. No more sanctions. This is not hurting Russia. It's hurting us. And now you're going to have the 10th package of energy sanctions that the EU is preparing. And Poland and Lithuania, they're pushing for Rosatom, the nuclear energy giant in Russia. They're pushing for that company to be sanctioned, a company which has a lot of nuclear energy deals with Hungary. They're operating a lot of facilities with Hungary, and from what I understand, they're building, I believe, 2 new power plants in Hungary as well. So if you think you have a bad energy crisis now in the EU, can you imagine if Poland and Lithuania get their way to sanction Rosatom? What would happen? Things would get really bad, really fast. Let's do one more story, and we'll wrap it up. And let's talk now about Maduro and Venezuela. This is an interesting story, very interesting story, because Nicolas Maduro, he is thinking about creating a regional bloc that is allied to China and to Russia. Maduro needs to be very, very careful here. Very careful. We all remember Libya and Gaddafi and Gaddafi's plans for the, for the African dinar. And we all remember what NATO and the United States and Hillary Clinton did to Gaddafi when he had these types of plans in mind. So Maduro needs to be very careful. Of course, a lot has changed since the regime change and the brutal murder of Gaddafi. But you still have to be very, very careful if you're Maduro. Anyway, the Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro, has proposed establishing a new international bloc involving Latin American and Caribbean countries that would have close ties to Russia and China. During his annual speech at Venezuela's parliament on Friday, Maduro said that he had recently spoken with the presidents of Brazil, Colombia, and Argentina about forming a new regional organization. According to Maduro, the time has come to unite efforts and paths in Latin America and the Caribbean to advance in the formation of a powerful bloc of political forces of economic power that speaks to the world. The Venezuelan president went on to say that the bloc would create new poles of power and would be allied to Russia and China, the leaders of which Maduro referred to as elder brothers. Such an alliance would comprise that community of shared destiny that our elder brother, President Xi Jinping, talks about, or that multipolar and multicentric world that our elder brother, President Vladimir Putin, talks about, Maduro said. For this world to arrive, a united and advanced Latin American and Caribbean bloc is needed, Maduro stressed. It's a bold move, a bold concept. Nothing has actually been started by Venezuela or Maduro. This is just a speech at this moment, but just uttering these words, just saying these things out loud. You need to be very, very careful, Maduro and Venezuela. Very careful. I understand that the whole Guaido thing is past, and the collective West has been utterly humiliated over the whole Guaido as president thing, and Maduro is probably feeling very, very secure and very good in his position. But just be careful, man, because when you say stuff like this, remember Libya. That's all I have to say. Remember Libya. So I will leave it there. Let's end the video for this Sunday evening in Nicosia, Cyprus. Streets are very quiet, aren't they, for a Sunday? And I'm in downtown, the city center. Not much action. Not many people walking around. Everyone is at the cafes, to be quite honest. So let's end it there. theduran.locals.com. We are also on Rockfin as well, and you can find all of our channels on all of the platforms, including Telegram, Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, and that's it. Did I say all the platforms? Telegram, Odyssey, Rumble, and BitChute. Yes, I did. And we are on Locals, and we are on Rockfin, and the Duran shop, 10% off. Use the code GOODDAY. I am signing out. Take care.